Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and I'm with John Taylor, and this is a very special edition of our Miracles, Magic, and Coffee show. And the question is, what is the question? The question is, how do you heal yourself? Whether you're dealing with crushing imposter syndrome or any anxiety or past traumas or old wounds and stuff, whatever it is that's really causing you angst, how do you heal it? That's the question, and this show is about the answers. And I'm excited to talk to John because he's got a very unique way to look at this, and he's come from a very interesting place. And as he says, it's way more fun the way he's doing it than the way he tried for so long. And I want to start off with, or just let me just say hi to John, and then we'll start going.
All right. Hey, Ralph, how are you?
I'm good.
It's good
man.
to be here.
Good to see you. Really good to see you. Yeah, tell us a little bit about you have an interesting story. We don't have to go so, wherever you feel like going. Like, I guess I'll start with a little story. So, because
Sure.
when we were talking a little bit before we got on, and what you were talking about made me think of a story about animals. And like, if an animal like an elephant gets separated from its herd, it's going to die. It's literally going to die. And even a wolf or other animals, if they get separated from the herd, they're going to die. And we need those people. And these days, there's so much division and so many people, you're either on this side or that side. And if you're in a group of people that are on the other side, you can feel it's beyond uncomfortable. And I think we're touching this whole thing like, I'm not part of this group. And it's beyond scary. It's a basic survival to be connected to people. And you found a way to shift some big stuff in you. And it was all about connections. And I want to go deep into this because for one, it's a lot more fun. And
Yes.
for another, I actually know a singer-songwriter, and she's running for political office right now. I'll give a shout out to Misty Flowers, Whatcom County Council. If you're in Whatcom County, Washington, vote for Misty Flowers. And she's a singer-songwriter. And her big thing is we've come to a point, we live in a very liberal little city, Bellingham, and it's supposed to be the city of subdued excitement and like peace and love and all this stuff. And when we first moved here, and when she moved here even before us, it's like we have the environmentalists, and we have the bookstore people, and we have the energy workers and the healers, and we have the snowboarders, and we have the skiers and the runners and the hikers, and we have the loggers, and we have the oil and gas people, and we have the Republicans, for God, God forbid the Republicans, and then we have the Green Party. And when we first moved here and when she moved here, everybody could go have a beer and play music and hang out and go skiing together and eat mountain bike, and it was like that. And these days it's not like that. And I think it starts to push a lot of these survival buttons of like being separated from the herd. If you're not part of a certain herd, it's beyond stressful. It's like your very survival is literally threatened. And so I want to talk to John because he's come from a very interesting place and what he found. So tell us a little bit about your backstory, like just talk to us about the beginning stages or what happened and what made you start to like go down the road you're on.
Yeah. And I think it's something that I've kind of known a little bit probably all my life, but I was forced into finding solutions to being able to kind of relate to and connect to other people after coming back from war. I was in Iraq 2004 to 2005, and my experience that I had there was just so much different than anything I'd ever experienced in my life, that when I came home, my entire perspective on things that were important to me, the things that I valued, was fundamentally changed. And so when I came home, everyone felt like a stranger, even people that were my family, people that I had known my entire life. I couldn't understand why the things that they were doing were important to them, why they were doing them, what was motivating them to do the things that they were doing and find those things important. Because I really, when I boiled it down and really kind of went deep into the things that were important for me after that experience, it was really just the relationships with other people, the experiences that I had had with other people. And so when I came home, I just felt completely disconnected. I felt like an alien being dropped into Earth, and I'm here, and I'm just trying to figure out, okay, why these people doing these things, and why are they finding them important? And again, it was people that I'd known my entire life, and other people too. And it was across the board. I felt completely disconnected from the average person. The only people that I really felt like I could relate to were people that had been in similar experiences to what I had been in. And I felt very anxious. I felt very just on edge all of the time, because I was feeling that disconnection. I wasn't able to have real connections with other people, because I had all of these walls up. And like I said, the way that I was perceiving things, I thought, man, my perception is way out over here, and everyone else's is like over here, and I'm not. There's no overlap. And it was very, very tough. And so I found myself going to a variety of different doctors, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, alternative medicine. I even went to a shaman. I did all sorts of stuff. And following all of that advice just was like this self-perpetuating cycle, where it was like I'm always seeking this outside thing to make my life better. Taking a pill or going to a session with someone, and expecting those things to make my life better, and make it so I can connect with other people. And I'm thinking, man, there's something wrong with me. Like I've tried everything. I literally went through, I don't know, how many different prescriptions and all of the other stuff that they were giving me, and following all the advice that I was given to a T. And after years of doing that, I was just in this dark point where it was like, man, I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. I've like the doctors were saying, there's nothing else we can prescribe you. There's nothing, there's no other options in terms of counseling. There's no other anything left. You've done it all. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's really disheartening.
Yeah. And so you were, so your friends were talking about like work and regular family stuff, and just the issues of the day, or whatever's on Facebook, or what were they talking about that made you just go, yeah, this is not what's important anymore? What was that like?
Well, yeah, and really what I was seeking was a level of connection similar to what I had experienced with those people that I spent time with in a combat zone. So we became very close. My friends that I was there with, there was 120 of us that I was there with, and I spent every day with, and we went through really challenging experiences together. And through that, we built very strong relationships. And so when I'm coming home, I'm expecting, okay, yeah, I'm going to come home and I'm going to, be able to connect with people and relate to them, and start forming these really, strong relationships with people. And I realized that the average person is just not, it's very hard to form those relationships with people. It doesn't happen by chance. It takes going through things, experiencing things together to kind of have that shared experience where you are building that understanding. And you can actually relate to other people because you've shared some things. And sometimes what you shared, maybe it's even just a small thing, can be the thread that opens up to a much wider understanding, where you're feeling like, okay, well, I can relate to this person on this thing, and they're not that bad of a person. And now maybe I'm going to listen to them talk about something I maybe don't agree with, but I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to hear them out. I'm going to value their opinion. And that's really where I found myself. Was I had tried everything that I was told to do, and I had tried it all, and they said, well, there's nothing left. And I said, well, I'm really miserable. And I'm more miserable than I've ever been. And so I finally one day I said, you know what, if I'm going to be miserable, I'm just going to start doing things that I enjoy. And so and stop trying to seek out these outside solutions to my problems, and just live life and just have fun with what I'm doing. And through that is really kind of how I ended up making some of the, and I wouldn't say it's a discovery, but just those kind of having those aha moments that it's like, okay, yeah, this is why this happened, and here's here's how it can apply to anyone. Um, and so after I kind of hit this very low point and I just decided, I'm going to just start doing things that I really enjoy, no matter what, whether I have to do them alone, whether I'm with other people, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go do them. And I started going to concerts. I would go to concerts, maybe 3, 4, 5 nights a week.
Oh,
Most of the time I would go alone. I would go after work, and if there was any place that there was some sort of music going on, I would go. And I started playing music again too. I'm also a musician. I started playing a little bit too. And when I first started going, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know, I was just some guy in the crowd. I didn't know anyone there. And I really had no intentions other than just going and having a good time. And so over time, I started seeing the same people over and over and over again. And, of course, being in the same place, sharing these experiences, I started just casually having conversations with these people, just, hey, do you want to have a slice of my pizza, or do you want to get a beer or whatever? And, or what did you think of that act? It just, those conversations happened very, very naturally, just by the fact that we were there and we had spent a bunch of time together, but maybe we didn't ever talk. And then all of a sudden, you start having these conversations. And pretty quickly, I found myself surrounded by this community. I didn't even realize was there, but there was this community involved around the music. And, they kind of took me in, and I just slowly over time, I started being able to relate to people again, just in general, not just the people that I was there with, but in general, because I was relating to all of these people. And it was a wide variety of different people with a lot of different ideas, different, all different races and all different, careers and religious ideas. And, it was a really wide mix of people who were attending these concerts, and we were all there enjoying the same thing and having very similar experiences, having similar ideas about the experiences. And like I said, that really opened up this door for me to be able to start relating to people on a wider level. And as soon as that happened, and it was gradual, as soon as that happened though, all of the anxiety went away. I stopped feeling anxious. I stopped feeling fearful. I stopped feeling like I wasn't, maybe, just not being feeling judged, or all those things that I think stem from feeling excluded or separated.
yeah, that seems to be it. Yeah, it's just like that elephant being left out of the cage. Yeah, it's like really a strong one. I think it can be used for good, and it can be used for not good, like to control a group of people. Like, well, everybody's doing this thing, and it's like, so you should do this thing too. And it's like, part of you might go, doesn't sound very good, like not very ethical, moral, but everybody's doing it. I guess I'm one of us, huh? It's like it's weird to think of not being one of the whole giant pack. And these days, we're being told to do certain things that a big group of people are doing, and it's like it's kind of like it's finding your own tribe. So this is cool. Is there a certain kind of music that it is? Like, was it bluegrass, country, anything?
No. I went to everything. Anything that was there, I would just go to it. And I love it all. I love it all. And, I find a lot of joy in, well, here's the thing. And most of the artists, no one would ever know. They're just people who have devoted their lives to playing music and entertaining other people. And I find a lot of joy in those, in the awe of seeing someone who is a master doing what they do, and being surprised, and it's almost like watching a magic trick. Seeing someone who is a master at their instrument, or at singing, or whatever it is that they do, performing, telling stories, whatever it is. I love to be surprised. I love to feel that sense of awe.
Yeah.
And so I think probably when I first started going to concerts, there was a pretty specific or more specific, types of music that I was going to. But over time, that's expanded to where I just love everything. I love it all. I love it all. And I love, and it just, not only that love of the music and the different types of music, but just the variety of people that there are in this world, and the variety of different ideas and values and things like that people have. I find I find that pretty thrilling, and it's weird because I was, for a long time I was struggling with all of that and just thinking that I had my blinders on, and it's like, okay, this is the only way, like seeing only what I could see in front of me and what my perception was, and it's like there's so much more out there that is really cool.
Yeah, and so as you got healthy and got this over the anxiety and the inner struggles of all this stuff, and found your group and playing music, and then and also getting this inner stuff, the connection with people and that sort of thing, it sounds like you got a new life, like you
Absolutely.
yeah, you start on a new journey. Tell us about what happened next. Like now you've got this music thing going, and where did you start going with this new bit of, you solved something big, and you got to play music, and it's way more fun, and you get to hang out with people, and it sounds like you're on a new journey at this point, where you're like, you can see people that are mastering their instruments, and some are successful, some aren't, as far as money thing. Were you on a new journey, you think, or what was going on then, now that you
so like I said, I got home from Iraq in 2005, and it was really 2009, late 2008, when I finally, like I said, I kind of hit rock bottom, and it was like I was just miserable, and I was craving that connection. I was craving being connected with people, and on a very, just a strong, intimate level. But at the same time, all I wanted to do was just isolate myself because I didn't feel connected. So it's weird because it's, the thing that I was wanting, I was also self-sabotaging myself from being able to have, because I was just, it was too painful at the time for me to be around other people. I was just very angry, very anxious. And it was hard for me to be around people. Even just going to the grocery store was hard for me. But like I said, around 2008, late 2008, early 2009, everything really shifted for me when I made that decision that I was just going to do things that I loved. And one of the big things that kind of shook out of that, like I said, was just music. Attending music concerts, playing music, all of that stuff. And so what happened was, like I said, I started going, and mainly by myself, and then I kind of just found this group of people that I felt connected to. And at first it was a pretty small group of people, but then I found out it's kind of like this regional thing, and then it's actually kind of like worldwide. And it just, this circle continued to grow and grow and grow. And along the way, I ended up re-meeting my now wife. I knew her.
You were single up to this point, and then you met as you got well, you met your new wife.
I did, and it was through music. So I actually knew her in the beginning. We had met back when we were teenagers. She was dating a guy that I was in a band with, and I knew her as my friend's girlfriend at the time. Well, years go by, and we reconnected at a concert. She was living in Chicago, and I was outside of Chicago. And anyway, we happened to be the same place, same time, reconnected at a concert. And at the time, I was having a ball. I was having a great time. I was just kind of having this new life where it was like, you know what, I'm finally kind of finding my stride, feeling like I'm able to start connecting with people again. And that really opened the door to a lot of different things. Well, then I wasn't really looking for a relationship, but it ended up growing into this, beautiful relationship that we have now. And we've been married for 11 years. And so, but that would have never happened, had all of the other stuff kind of happened that allowed me to get to the point where I was ready. I wasn't ready yet. I didn't, like I said, for about, I don't know, about 3 years give or take, I was really just struggling.
Yeah.
Not wanting to be around people, not wanting to do anything social, because it was very painful for me.
Yeah, it's so
So
interesting because it's like when we're at a really low part or we're working really hard to do something and struggling and stuff's going on, that I liked what you said about let's see, what did you say? Oh, just gonna do things that I love.
yeah,
And then you got in a space of just having a really good time doing things that you love and getting this connection and this what you were really looking for. And then your wife showed up.
right.
Yeah, it's like interesting. It has to come first there. And I think that what you said, doing things that I love, that's maybe pretty key, huh?
I think it is. I think it is the key to a lot of things. I mean, because if you're at the most fundamental level, if you're not doing things that you love very regularly, I mean, how can you enjoy life? You know what I mean? How can you experience joy or happiness or I mean, we can go through the motions and do things because we feel like we're obligated or
Yeah.
required to, but I mean, that only goes so far. And I think that if you aren't regularly doing things that you love, that is a great place to just start, because here's the thing: if you are doing things that you love, you're going to eventually meet people who have very similar interests to you, doing those things. I mean, that's just the natural, I mean, if you love gardening and you're, participating in garden clubs and things like that, you're going to meet people who are also interested in those things. And that's, I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, so I think, that is definitely a key to all of this, is just realizing that, we can choose what we spend our time on. And if we do choose things that we love, the things that can happen because of that
Yeah.
are kind of magical. At
Yeah.
least that's been my experience,
Yeah. And so give us a little bit of the details of like where you were working when things were not good, and then where you were working as you found music and your connection, and then your wife, and what you were doing like in a physical make money, make a life kind of thing. Like has there been a progression of that as well, or what is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I first came back from Iraq, I still had a semester left of school. And so I went back to school, and man, it was so tough because I'm at that point, I was, let's see, I was 23,
Wow.
because I had to take, I had to take a year and a half off of school. And actually, yeah, well, it was a year and a half. I had to take 18 months off of school. I should have already graduated, but I was 23 at the time. So I'm coming back and I'm seeing my peers, kids who are 19 through, about 20, 22 or so, 18, 19, that age, and seeing them, and just, I could not relate to them at all. I was just really, I mean, it was it was a very tough experience for me, because I'm being thrown in with these group of people who, I mean, they're the things that they were thinking were important were just like the complete opposite of what I thought was important. I thought at the time, this is my perception at the time, because I'm thinking, man, it's like, I when I was coming back, I really, I'm like, I just want to like set down some roots and just like start, on a career, and I had all these things that I wanted to do. Well, and I think a lot of that was shaped by just cultural ideas of what a person should do at that point in their life. And so I was just kind of modeling my path forward after those things. And that, combined with the experiences that I had, the perception that I had at the time, where it was like, I was just really wanting to connect with people on a deep level, have, very meaningful experiences and things like that. I was finding it was not something that I could do at the time. I just was not there mentally. And so I go back to school, I finished school, and I started a job, and I was writing computer programs at the time. And so I do that, you know, for several years. And then after I kind of had this epiphany of just, you know, just focusing on doing things that I love, that's really when my life changed. And so, you know, at that point, I got a pretty significant promotion. I was still doing similar work, but it was in a management sort of role. And I mean, essentially my salary doubled overnight.
Wow.
You know, but it was a matter of, again, being in the right place, you know, spiritually, mentally, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like I said, then I re-met my now wife, which, I mean, that's just kind of set off a chain reaction of a lot of really cool things, that, you know, our relationship, you know, the children that we have now and the friends that we have and the experiences that we've had. And yeah, it was kind of like a whole new experience for me, a whole new life for me. And so that continued for a while. And so that's not the end of the story. So it gets kind of more interesting because, you know, so my wife and I started having children, and I thought, you know, I had some things that I wanted to do, you know, projects I wanted to do around the house, and just a few things I wanted to do, you know, just kind of professionally. And so I ended up taking a job. In addition to my full-time job, I was teaching this night class at a college, and I was teaching electrical engineering. And anyway, I loved it. I loved the experience. It was great. But what happened when I did that, I had to give up music because I was gone every night. So
Oh,
I was Monday through Thursday. The night class was from 5:40 to 10:40 at night. And so my Monday through Thursday was spent in the classroom. And so that left me with Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, you know, after being gone all day, every day, Monday through Thursday, my Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, I really didn't have any desire, I thought, to go out and not be with my wife and my
yeah.
son. And so that caused me again to kind of go into this place where I'm feeling again disconnected. I'm feeling like, you know, I'm missing my friends, all of those people who I had, you know, had these really, you know, strong relationships with, and I'm feeling again disconnected, and I'm just struggling. You know, and on the surface, everything looks great. You know, I've got a job. I'm, you know, doing well with that. I've got another job that I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying that. And, you know, I've got a wife and son, and everything, you know, on the surface is great, but I'm just fundamentally just, you know, struggling on a really basic level with the connection again. And I'm thinking, you know, what's the deal? You know, why am I starting to feel like I'm, you know, not relating to people, not, you know, having those experiences that I'm really craving, those experiences where, you know, you're meeting new people, you're connecting with them in a meaningful way. And
Yeah.
so, you know, several things happened, but I eventually ended up quitting teaching after about 4 years. And at that point, I said, you know, man, I have to do something, because if I don't, I'm not going to be happy. And I'm, you know, and the
Yeah, and
happiness.
your regular job at that point was making software, like computer stuff, I mean?
Yeah, well, that, and it was management. It was a data collection program I was doing for the Department of Defense.
Okay. Okay.
On Yeah, and so I was managing that. I was managing the people, the technology, and all that. And so, you know, I'm kind of just finding myself feeling just not necessarily miserable, but it was just like I was really missing those connections with other people. And so I started hosting concerts at our house, because I figured, okay, if I'm doing it at our house, I can have my family there with me. I'm not gone. And it's a way that I can, you know, do this and still bring this into my life, these types of experiences into my life, where I'm able to connect with people and do so, you know, in a meaningful way, share these experiences with people, allow those people who want to share their stories, their songs, give them a venue to do that.
How
So
did your wife take that? How did she like bringing rock stars into your house?
well, again, I think because of the history that we'd had, like I said, we originally connected through music, we reconnected through music. I mean, it always been a very important part of our relationship, and so it was
good, huh?
it was good. It was
That's good.
good, and yeah, and so
That sounds fun.
and so yeah, so we started hosting concerts here at the house, and just doing it on a very regular basis. And
Wow.
what happened was, again, it started out kind of as a selfish thing, because I was thinking, I just want to see my friends, and I want to experience music and all of this stuff. But what ended up happening was I started seeing other people's lives change as a result of it. People who maybe had never really been interested in music, but they were curious enough to come out once maybe and try it, and just try, come out and try a concert, and it ended up changing their life, and in a lot of different ways that I saw that sort of stuff happening. And so as time went on, and as I'm hosting more and more people, and just having more and more concerts, I'm just seeing like this really beautiful thing starting to unravel, where it's like, wow, this is really powerful, not only for me, but this can actually help other people. And
Yeah.
and so I mean, there's people that I've seen that I've got a good friend who he met his now wife at a concert. They're married, and they would have never met if they'd never come to a concert here. There's a lot of people who I've connected with in different ways through the music that has changed their lives. One of the concert series that I do is a bigger event that we do in a public park, and for that particular series, we have a lot of volunteers for a variety of different reasons. I mean, we have to raise money to do that, and there's just a lot more work involved in doing it at the level that we're doing it. And anyway, I mean, there's people who have, just through the act of volunteering and having the opportunity to volunteer, it's changed their life. They feel like they have something to give. They feel like they're part of something.
Yeah.
They feel like they're part of something much larger than themselves. And I mean, that's what all of this comes down to, is feeling connected, and the power of feeling connected, and music being the vehicle to bring people together and to have shared experiences. And like I said, that shared experience can be the key to unlocking, anything really, the potential that can come from that one shared experience can really unlock, just about anything, any sort of relationship you can imagine.
This is so cool, man. I wish you were in Bellingham, Washington.
Right.
Concerts. Wow. This is so cool. And so their family affairs, it sounds like the parks and people's homes and stuff. It's like kids come.
Yeah, kids come, everyone comes. And I specifically do it, in non-traditional venues, to make it a very intimate event, where it's not, you're not at a bar or a club or something where it's just kind of background music. It's something where people come, right? People come, they want to hear the stories, they want to hear the songs. They'll mingle and stuff before and after, but during the show itself, they're there for the performance. They want to be entertained.
And so are the kids like running around outside, or what?
Oh yeah, they're just having a ball. They're being kids, and
God, this is so cool, man. I thought you would come do it over here. So wow. And so you're taking this into like next level kind of stuff. Like, I know you're kind of starting to do some coaching, and you play music, and you've got these concerts, and like, what a wonderful thing you've done, and help people get what they really want. Like, man, doesn't that sound better than sitting at home waiting to go to bed, watching some dumb show, and then just getting up and then going to work, and then waiting for the weekend, and then not even that happy on the weekend and then waiting for Sunday to be upset about going back to work. And this is like, this sounds so fun. And this is happening in the Chicago area or Indiana or?
No, so I'm in a small town, Cambridge, Illinois. It's outside the
Illinois.
Quad Cities. Yeah. About 3 hours southwest of Chicago.
Okay.
It's a very small town, about 2,200 people.
What's the Quad Cities? Like what 4 cities are in the Quad?
Oh yeah, so it's Bettendorf, Iowa, Davenport, Iowa, and then on the Illinois side, Moline and Rock Island.
Okay.
Yep. Right on the Mississippi between Illinois and Iowa there.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's like the greater area is probably what, like 100,000 or 100,000?
Probably 250,000 if you
Wow.
get the smaller, because there's a lot of smaller cities
Wow, what
and
a great
villages
thing.
and stuff.
And so what's this is so awesome. I've
Thanks,
got
yeah.
a friend who's a singer-songwriter and she's running for that county council seat. And I'm gonna have her watch this
Oh, cool.
this could be like the next step. Like there's so many singer-songwriters and they've got their they had the old life. Hopefully it comes back where they can be in the clubs and the bars and the coffee shops and stuff. And I've heard a little bit about house parties before, but I never seemed to be a thing in a big way. This sounds so big.
I feel like it is. I mean, and it's very like simple though, and it's very there's no, I don't know. I mean, it's almost so.
This is so good, man. I mean,
I don't know.
It's like I can just see all of. I mean, yeah, it's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? It's like, let's go do that. Like, so,
right.
Yeah. So, wow. So, what's your next step? What's your vision? Because this is huge.
Well, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out, but I just, the thing is I don't know. I believe in people. I believe in people that, especially those people who have devoted their lives to entertaining others.
Yeah.
Because it is a very challenging life, a very different life, I think, than most of us would recognize. They're spending lots of time on the road in different places, meeting different people, going into uncertain circumstances on a very regular basis. And it's almost every night for them is kind of a roll of the dice where they're gonna get paid well, they're going to have something to eat, they're going to have a place to stay, and yet they still choose to do that. That's what they've chosen to pursue. And to me, it's like, wow, that is amazing. And I love being able to support them, and I love also just being able to allow them to share what they're working on, the things that they've created with other people, because I've seen, like I said, just allowing that to happen and giving the space for that to happen just opens up the door for just about anything you can imagine. And so I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, but I want to continue being able to do it on a bigger level, being able to reach more people, being able to and just help more people in general feel that connection with other people, because that's really what it comes down to, which I said, like I said, it's a need, really. I think, like I said, I've got children, and for them it's opened my eyes to this idea that it's just a very innate thing that we have to feel like we are loved, we are included, we are part of something. And a lot of it is this mental thing that we do, where we sometimes feel like we are not connected because we have different ideas or we believe in different things. And what I found is really, it's just all in our head, and we are all connected in one way or another. And the more we can realize that, the more we can celebrate our differences. I think the more fun life is in general, just in general.
That's what it feels like to me with this. This is so big. I wonder, it'll be cool to see what you do next with this. I want to share, let me go get all your links. I've got them pulled up here. So people, golly, I want to go see this.
It's been it's been a weird year because everyone has been isolated, and so now coming out of this, it's just, there's a very high level of excitement, I think, among people to get out and connect with other people. And at the same time, I think there's a lot of people who are not ready yet. They're in a place where they've been isolated for so long that they're struggling with the idea of going out and being in public. And like I said, I've been there. I felt that, and it's a very painful thing.
Yeah,
but
like some people seem like they're just gonna like keep going this way of staying away from everybody. It's like, oh my God, this doesn't sound good.
It doesn't. It's a scary place to be. I think personally, I can't imagine a life not being able to really connect with other people, because I mean, yeah, just kind of having these rigid ideas. It's very easy to do. It's a very easy thing to fall into, especially if you're not interacting with a lot of people on a regular basis. It's very easy to just kind of think, whatever's in your head is the only way. And
then whatever's on your phone is the only truth. It's like,
yes,
starts to get really weird.
It gets very weird. And so
like traveling, you get exposed to all these other people and all these other cultures. This kind of music thing with people from all sorts of different political and social ideas of what's going on, but they can play music and they love music. And you might have like so many different viewpoints watching bluegrass. And
oh yeah,
it's like so yeah. Wow, man, oh man. I would like to, I put the links in there in the Facebook for all your YouTube and your Facebook and your website. Let me see what it's called. Heartland Connections.
Yeah.
Bishop Hill, Illinois. This is really next level stuff, because people need this. People, it's been a really weird year, and we are our core group, and like we're good. Yet, my kids my little boys are like, hope they meet you someday, because there's like one's 4 and one's 9. They're like perfect ages for your kids. But through the tough parts, one of them said stuff and he's a really happy kid that's excited about life and doing lots of stuff. And he told me, I don't even want to say it, but he told me like quite a few months ago, he said, this would be a good year to die. And
oh, wow.
And he goes, oh, this whole COVID thing. And I'm like,
wow.
I mean, it's like, and he's excited about life. And, but he's like, if you feel like you're not part of the group anymore, like you get out and there's masks on everybody and they all look like they think you're going to kill them by breathing air. It's hard for these little kids. And I tell you,
oh yeah,
the suicide and the depression and the anxiety among the little children right now is at an all-time high. We gotta change some stuff now. And I think we gotta quit being so freaking afraid and play some music and drink a drink with your friend if you drink alcohol, or drink a
whatever, yeah,
an apple juice, but hang out and have some fun, and just like it's time. It's really time, and your stuff is so important right now. So I just I want to keep in contact and see how you do this, because I'm like, I wish we could clone you.
Well, and here's the really cool thing is that, because if you get to that point where you are feeling very comfortable and you're feeling supported, especially on a larger level, you're feeling very connected, very supported, it allows you to do things that you really, really love, and maybe things that are even a little bit risky, things that maybe are a little bit of a chance. And because once you feel supported, you're able to take on and overcome challenges. Your capacity to do things that are greater and have a greater impact increases, and it just continues to increase as you become more comfortable with just other people and being connected with them. And that is really, really cool. I mean, we're able to, and the way I always put it is, the level of challenge you're able to accept is equal to the amount of support that you have. And really that support is always there, but you have to be able to realize that it's there. And and it does grow too, just through, like I said, through shared experiences, going and sharing experiences with people, that grows that level of support, not only, you know, in your head, but also in the real world. There's more people that you're connected with, and they feel more connected to you, and they want you to succeed. They want to see
Oh
you do
yeah.
great things. And you know, I mean, it just is like this snowball where, you know, I mean, like I said, I started out hosting concerts at my house, and then let's see, in 2018, I opened an art cooperative where I host concerts there as well. And then I started the public series. It's called the Levitt Amp Galva Music Series. I ended up getting a grant to do that, and which that has just turned into this amazing thing that, you know, we just ended up building a permanent stage in the park where that's held at, a beautiful stage. And it was all just because of, you know, it was just all because of this idea, and all of just, it's like I said, it's almost like a movement. People just kind of believing in other people, and the ability of us collectively to do fun things, to do great things. And I don't know, I mean, it's very simple, it's very fundamental. I think it's not something that takes a lot to understand, but it does take a little bit of courage to get started and to go out and to be willing to have experiences with strangers. And that's, you know, that is scary to a lot of people, especially at the beginning. And like I said, when I originally was struggling, the last thing I wanted to do was be in public. I hated even going to the grocery store. It was something, you know, that would really produce, you know, physical fear and anxiousness and things like that, that it felt horrible. but you work through it. And like I said,
How did you know to work through it? Like, did it just like pop in your head, I'm gonna just do stuff that's fun, or like?
Yeah, that's exactly. I kind of had tried everything, and then the doctors were telling me, well, we've done everything. You've tried all the drugs, you've tried all the different things that we can offer. And I said, okay, well, if there's nothing left, then I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy whatever time I have left. And that's what I'm going to focus doing is just having fun. And so that's how that happened. It was just out of sheer,
like go into like drugs and alcohol.
Well, that was a choice too. You know, I mean, I could have done that, but I realized that wasn't going to bring me joy, and it wasn't going to bring me happiness. And that's really what I was looking for. And just intuitively, I don't know, I just knew that was what I should do. And I just kind of followed that feeling. And it was tough though, because for a very long time, I was just kind of stuck in this mode where I was constantly seeking answers from someone on the outside, and you know, hoping that the next pill or the next counseling session or whatever was going to help me. And it didn't. A lot of times, you know, the feelings that I would have, I was trading one feeling, you know, feeling one way for feeling another, and both of them were uncomfortable. And so it was this kind of, I was just stuck in this system of, you know, relying on others to kind of, you know, hopefully bring me some sort of peace. But it was I realized eventually, after I kind of had gone through everything, I did everything that everyone had told me to do, and I didn't feel any better, and I was actually feeling worse. And that's really the moment where I just woke up one day and I said, I'm miserable. I'm just gonna have fun with whatever time I have left. And that's how it all started. And then, like I said, over time, it's kind of progressed into different things. And even, like I said, even, you know, for a while there, while I was teaching, not able to go out and see friends and you know, be social, I was struggling. I struggled a lot, and I just kind of slipped into it again. And you know, I just intuitively again knew that it was time I needed to do something else. And then you know, pain is a great motivator.
Sometimes it's like, it's not bad enough. Like, you know, another glass of wine, sit at home, you came home from work, just relax, you know, no big deal. What's on Netflix? You'll be okay. But you chose a different way. And there's a group that we're both in, the entrepreneur group that we're in, that I love, because the people there are a great community. it's like, it's exciting to be part of that because everybody's got their version of how can I help the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody's got their, it just would be cool for people to find their group. And yeah, anything else you want to say to people that are in these crazy times, these anxiety times, these what am I supposed to do times? Some people seem to be skating through it just fine. But even them, when you scratch the surface a bit, they're like got some stuff going on. And I think so many people end up settling and never really, like, they've lost their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell people these days? And there's different people. So it's like some people, they're already doing their thing and they're gonna be inspired and say, yeah, man. And other people, they're just kind of like almost just dulled out. And they're not, I mean, maybe we don't reach those people. I don't know. But it's like, I'm excited about what you're doing. And for the people that find this like, yeah, I'm gonna do a version of this. I guess that's the thing. Like we can't save everybody, but I want to repeat some of the things you said. Let's see. What did you say? Oh, take chances and do stuff. What is fun for you?
Yeah.
Maybe you should do that. Find your support. Support goes through shared experiences with people. Your group wants you to succeed. It's like a movement. It's simple and fundamental. It takes courage. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all those things. And I think, yeah, just everyone is different. Everyone has different things they love. Everything has have different things that motivates them, that bring them energy. And, my advice to anyone is just, do those things that do bring you energy and joy and happiness as much as possible. And just continue doing that as much as you can. Because that really is, I think, the key to a lot of the things that, are the things that we desire. And I think a lot of times we don't even know, I think, what we desire. I think a lot of times it's a very primal thing that is driving us, but sometimes we don't even realize it. I mean, I know in my case, I didn't even realize it until much later on, why I was feeling the way I did, why I did the things I did. And it didn't make sense to me at the time, but I was just, again, that one decision just to kind of focus on joy and happiness and creating that on a regular basis. That's really what changed my life. And I guess one other thing I'll say about music, and I think this is very cool, is that it's one of those things that is just by nature very inclusive. Anyone can like any style of music. You could be young, old, rich, poor, black, white, any religion. It doesn't matter. You can belong with music and art and anything like that is not an exclusive thing. I know a lot of people who find their community, their place, in places like church, for example, which is great. I think that's a great thing. Everyone should have a place where they feel very comfortable, very supported, and that's awesome. The thing that I found, though, with music is that it is actually inclusive. You don't have to believe anything. You don't have to believe in anything at all, other than just finding joy in the moments that you're experiencing the music and spending time with other people. And at the end of the day, that's really, to me, what it comes down to. Life is about those moments, spending time with people, the relationships that you build with people, and just the depth of the relationships that you can actually have with a person. It's very cool. It's a very cool thing. And I think a lot of people have never experienced a very strong bond with other people. And it's just, it's a sad thing to me, because it's so cool, the level that you can take a relationship to. And for me, music was the key to kind of unlock all of that for me. And like I said, other people that I've seen that happen with as well. So yeah.
And Dr. Zach Bush said something about some I guess he found, looking through all this research and stuff, that singing is the only thing that he's found that they found in the scientific world anyway, the only thing that repairs the ends of our DNA.
I believe it.
Yes.
I believe it. I mean,
So maybe I'll sing along with you too.
right? No, I completely believe it. Funny you mentioned Zach Bush. I just, for the first time, heard a podcast with him last
Oh,
night.
he's the best, man. He's so cool. He's good. He's another guy. He's a guy that has some good answers to help heal the planet.
I think so. Yeah, I liked what I heard too.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, you should play on his farm, his ranch, or whatever it is in Hawaii. Go play music there. Well, I want to. So, is there a place for people to follow you? I put the links, your Facebook, your YouTube, and your website. Is there a place for them to get on an email list, or like just to know what you're up to, or what's the best way for them to connect?
Yeah, I do have an email list, especially if you're local. I mean, here in the Midwest, it's probably that's the most relevant. But if you're other places in the world and you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook. I've got several different pages. Probably the best one is Heartland Connections.
Yeah, I got that one up.
Yep. And then heartlandconnections.com.
Yep.
There's a bunch of different pages and places you can find me, but that's probably the one that has the most information. I built that really just to combine all the things that I'm doing. I've got some other stuff in the works, but yeah, I mean, if you're someone out there who's struggling with something, or you just you like these ideas, they resonate with you, just feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to talk and just share my experiences with you, because I hope that by listening to this, maybe you're inspired to go do something that maybe is a little bit scary, because I think again, we need to have challenges in our lives, and I think sometimes when we don't take those challenges and take on challenges, you don't see the support that is actually there.
Yeah,
there is all of us are supported in some way or another, but sometimes just by the fact of playing it safe and not doing things that are outside your comfort zone, a lot of times you don't even see that, and you don't feel, and then more importantly, you don't feel that support. And I think we all need to feel supported. It's just something that is as a basic need of a human, and to feel loved and supported. And so, yeah, do things you love, do things that are a little bit scary, and get out and just spend time with people, because I think at the end of the day, you're not going to remember what you watched on Netflix probably, but you will remember moments with other people and experiences that you have with other people. And that's really the things that I find to be priceless, are those memories and experiences. And it helps me to continue growing as a person, just having those experiences and hearing other people's stories and spending time with them and all that stuff. So
it's so good, and it's so needed. And I liked what you said about it's something about like in the challenge, in the problem, that's when you start to see your support, and you start to go, and if you just play it safe, sometimes you don't even notice all the support that's there.
You don't see it. Yeah, it's true. You don't see the support because you don't need it. If you're playing it safe, you're sitting at home watching Netflix or whatever. And I watch Netflix. It's not a horrible thing, but not a lot. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I think if you are just playing it safe, try to go out and do something that is a little bit uncomfortable for you, and you will see the support that is there for you. And we all need to see that. We all need to see that we're supported and loved and feel like we're part of something.
Yeah, I'm looking at the AMP Gava music place. That's your cool spot.
Yeah. Like I said, we just actually finished a permanent stage. It was built this year. It just got finished up, and it's fantastic. It's just, and I mean, with that, we've got a bunch of volunteers. We get several hundred people. Well, usually about 700-800 people a night that come out for these concerts, and young, old, all sorts of different people that are coming out and just having a great time and sharing some food, just spending a night in the park. And it's great. It's unbelievable. Just looking around, seeing people laughing, smiling, dancing. I mean, there's really nothing better than that. So
yeah. Well, thank you for being on, man. I want to
Oh, thank you.
chat with you some more
Totally.
time to time and see where this goes. Yeah, so let me see all the comments. Let's see. Oh, I see people commenting on all sorts of stuff. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna get out of there. Yeah, this is like are you still there? You are.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Thank you for being on, John. Holy
Oh,
cow,
thank you.
man. Great work and so good to know you. And,
Likewise.
I'm gonna talk to my friend Misty and see what she thinks about starting the Bellingham chapter of this thing.
You should.
And keep me up to date so that we can share this, because this does seem like a thing like copy and paste it over in all these other communities. It's gonna be, this is, if you want to bring it to the world in a big way, I think this is like, this is big, man. Some sort of framework of, okay, you guys, here's how we do this. The concerts in the park.
Sure.
And then, anyway.
Well, I'm happy to play whatever part I can in that.
Okay, well, I will see what I can
Absolutely.
connect us up with. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna sign off and yeah, contact John and contact me. And yeah, you can find a nice little energetic healing thing on my site, ralphhavens.com/miracle. And then there's lots of links for John in his Facebook and his YouTube, and I just signed up for his email list. So all right, well, I'm signing off, and let's get out there
Perfect.
yourself and heal the world. And I'm going to just turn this off of that and then turn it